beautiful. Welcome to today's conversation where we're going to talk about embrace positive thinking, mind body harmony. Let's talk about it. I'm your host, Shannon Martin, and welcome to today's episode of This Thing Called Wellness. Thank you for joining me on another Wellness Wednesday. I was still thinking about last week's episode about how the mind and body are interconnected and how we can overcome challenges by eating, drinking, exercising regularly, and even feeding our minds positive thoughts. Because life has been lifing over here, y'all. And I'm not sure if it has been for you, but such is life, right? I have been trying to chug along and, continue to heal and stay on my path. But for some reason, when you're doing well, like eating better, you're back on a good schedule, eating at least 2 meals a day, snacking a little healthier than before, because I'm not putting bad snacks in the house like before. Like I may have a muffin or my favorite snack, popcorn, but nothing out of the ordinary. But recently this morning, I got a call from my husband because he couldn't find his keys and he was really angry about it. And he woke me up before I get up in the morning. Right now, we're not really seeing eye to eye and we're not in a good place, right? Even though they say, it's part of marriage and you go through all this, but this has really spiked my anxiety and a little bit of my depression. So when I recorded the episode last week, and I asked myself, why have I not thought about the mind body connection before? I mean, really thought about it. I know about positive thinking and boundaries and being mindful and all the good things. But today, when I got the phone call, something sparked in me. And I said, this one phone call angered me. And I was grouchy for a few hours. I mean, really angry. Like I said, it was before I got up, and I was already furious because, like, you're waking me up before I get up, angry about something that has nothing to do with me. And I thought to myself, why am I allowing this one phone call get to me like this? So I got to thinking, okay, let me refocus this energy and let me pause because I have a 1 o'clock accountability call. So before that, I let my dog out and she didn't want to come back in. She didn't want to come back in the house. And I'm like, okay, girl, it's 12:57. It's hot out here. This is Georgia. I need you to come on back in. So that further angered me. And I was through the roof angry. And I'm like, I just need to get coffee. I need to get my snack. I need to get downstairs. I need to turn the computer on. And I was just on this hamster wheel of anger, just furious. Have you ever had one of them days where life is just really out of control? Today was that day for me. So I sat down last night as I was trying to decide what I wanted to discuss, which direction I wanted to go in today. And I said, let me continue to discuss this connection because I found myself being disconnected again. And I found this situation slowly pulling me back into a not so good space. And I've come too far and I didn't want it to pull me back in. So I sat down last night with my emotions and I began to journal and I began to cry. And I realized that I was in a place of disbelief. Like, how did I get here again? What am I going to do? How am I really feeling about everything right now? Am I really okay? No, I wasn't. I wasn't okay. I'm holding the pieces together with little pieces of tape, right? I'm holding my head up and I'm continuing to move. But I thought about it and the piece that's not here when I have these moments, when my backbone is a little lax, my pillar of strength, she's not here anymore. My mother's not here to say it's going to be all right, baby. I'm here for you. God has you. Then the grief set in, right? And that made me cry even harder. Then I realized that my husband and I aren't seeing eye to eye. That made me hurt. My backbone and my support system, they're not here anymore. So I just wrote it out. I cried it out and I prayed it out. And this morning, I woke up to the call, my dog and all the stuff. And I realized that someone was here with me. And I heard, you're going to be all right. I'm here with you. Always remember, you got yourself into this. You get yourself out of it. Hang on, joy comes in the morning. This is one of my mother's favorite verses. And I knew it was her guiding me in being here as best she could. So right then I began to say positive things to myself. Hey girl, checking on you today. It might have started out as a good day, right? So your dog didn't come back in like she's supposed to. She's a chihuahua. She's 98 years old. She's stubborn. She stays cold. Let her have her time in the sunshine and let her bask out there. Open the back door up, let her chill on the deck. She'll be all right, right? Just let it go. From here on, set boundaries on your phone calls. Smile, because remember, that's half the battle, right? Continue to say nice things to yourself, all right? I never used to say nice things to myself. I never pep myself up or have been my own cheerleader until now. I always did that for others, like my children, my husband, even my mom sometimes, but not for me. And it just felt good. So from here on, I'm doing this for me. And I'm going to hug myself a little bit more daily. I know that my mom is here with me because her words and phrases came back to me in spurts. They always seem to come back to me when I need them the most and at the perfect time. Mindful moment. When you find yourself in a place where you're piecing yourself back together, because I have been for years now, and I'm sure you have been too. You've been piecing yourself back together again with the invisible tape so no one can see it. And when your world is turned upside down and you have to put the pieces back together again, and you just ask God to give you the strength and energy to just keep going because you're exhausted and you just don't know if it's in you to put yourself together anymore. You're tired, but keep going. No matter how slow or how long it takes, just keep getting up. Because today turned out to be a pretty amazing day. My accountability call was amazing. We laughed, got each other back on track, helped lay out our next 2-week plan so we can meet again in 2 weeks. We talked about meal planning so we can eat better. And we both wanted to get on a summer schedule so we can exercise and she can go gardening. We talked about how my other friend, myself, and my chihuahua, we all on menopause and just need a nap. And we laughed and we helped each other in our respective areas. My other friend girl voice messaged me throughout the day, and we talked about, hey, it's time to service our HVAC units because the summers in Georgia are no joke. And our menopausal cells need this air. And my husband called and apologized for being a butt this morning. Now, that's the icing on the cake, right? Now, if I had let this phone call, my Lily, and our marital situation interfere with today or every day, it would not have ended on such a positive note, right? So I'm going to heat up my leftovers, make a salad, and continue to watch my anime series because the new series comes out June 1st. And when I want to be caught up, I'm already caught up with Bridgerton, so I'm good. But today, I got up, I kept moving forward. I made a little bit of lemonade along the way, laughed a whole lot, and I'm proud of me for doing so. So when you're in that moment and you feel like you just can't go on, pause, ask the question, journal if you need to, pray, remember to smile, and keep moving forward a little bit at a time. That's how you create positive changes in your life. One day, one challenge at a time. Love you, girl. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found value in today's conversation where we talked about embrace positive thoughts, mind body harmony. I am your host, Shannon Martin. Be sure to join us next Wednesday where we will discuss something interesting. Until then, stay healthy and well. If you enjoyed today's episode, let me know what you think by sending me a text. Yes, a text message. There's a link in the show notes at the very top that you can click on. Let me know what you think about the episode so far. Or just say hello and keep up the good work. I love to hear from you. Also, please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. It helps listeners find us and join our wellness community. Thank you for tuning in. Disclaimer: I am not a licensed mental health professional. The information provided here is for general informational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you need help, please consult a qualified mental health professional.